Matthew, you telling me to behave?
I know it's hard, but you know.
We have to remind him.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a reminder.
Hey, speaking of remind everybody, tomorrow night over in Rogersville, basketball exhibition game will help raise funds for the Lady Tigers championship rings, Gregg. They won it for the third straight year, those girls. You know they won 11 titles over there?
They've always had a good basketball
They got
team.
the triplets, 1, 2, and 3 over there.
That's amazing.
That was our old buddy Keith. That was one of his favorite schools over there.
Yeah.
They win it they're trying to, how many rings can they use? But anyway, they're playing the school, they're playing the volunteer fire department tomorrow night over to school over that way.
Back when I was in Russellville, I ended up making some car tags for them when they won state championship.
Really?
Once, yeah.
All right, we're going to do a little
What year
quiz up here, boys. Y'all heard about the big movie coming out on March 28th starring Russell Crowe, Noah's Ark. It's a $130 million drama that they built. You been keeping up with it?
I mean, I've seen a little bit of the news surrounding it. So
You know who Bill Mayer is, don't you? The atheist comedian. He
Right.
says that God's a murderer and all that stuff. Let me give a shout out to my buddy Freddie Leonard this morning. Y'all know Freddie, my Sunday school teacher, and to Wayne White, sending us a bunch of stuff. Matthew, they sent me 114 reasons that have been documented that Noah's Ark story is true. Your job, each one of y'all, is to name all 5 of those.
wow.
He is.
Huh? Says, here's over 100 evidence in support of global flood rather than a local one. For rain to fall, I ain't going to go through all of them, obviously. For rain to fall for 40 uninterrupted days on one localized area is currently close to impossible. Anyway, this movie, he went over to the Vatican the other day, Russell Crowe did, to get the blessing of the Pope, and Pope stood him up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but anyway, it goes on here, so I ain't nowhere near biblical enough to go over any of this stuff, but they're saying that Mayor's saying it couldn't have happened that way, and God was a murderer and all this stuff.
Like he knows.
Well, I mean, I would disagree with them. I don't know your 114 reasons, but I know there have been things where they've, just some weird things trying to explain how you can find, fish and seashells and things like that at the top of some of these mountain peaks. And so there are some things, and they found evidence over in the Middle East of what they think, is possibly the Ark. So,
You're always going to have someone that's going to.
And the thing about God being a murderer is that God he is a loving God, and another day we can discuss it. But what God really wants is all men to come to Him and all men to come to a saving knowledge. He doesn't want to punish people with hell. And so when someone accepts Christ and they turn to Him, He becomes a father, and it's a great picture of adoption. So earthly adoption greatly mirrors what God does for us. So at the same time, He does judge, and so there are those people that the Bible says that that there are going to be people that won't turn to God, and in the end He will punish them. But it's the same as if we had someone here that committed a crime. We would all expect them to go before the judge and Him to sentence them for that crime. And that's what God does in the end. So when people don't turn their hearts to Him, and and they don't love Him, that's what happens. So, but God, in the end, God's a loving God. He wants all people to turn. That's what the Bible says. That He desires all men.
Okay, boys, beat that.
Aren't you glad you asked Matthew?
That's why I got it.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He stole your word right out of your mouth.
Oh, that's good, Matt.
Y'all want to add anything to that?
I would just wait.
Very good explanation, Matthew.
Good, very good.
Right.
Let me see if I can beat that.
Not his first rodeo talking about this stuff.
With that in mind, and don't forget, let's talk about the race again. People can register how?
They can go online to CFARaceSeries.com, and they can look for the race to Athens. They can also go to our Facebook page. There's a link there. So
You can do either of those or walk. You don't have to run or do the 10.
Yeah.
Greg's getting in shape now. He tried to borrow my blue shoes yesterday.
Yeah, I
He's
didn't
getting
want
ready
to
to
get
go.
lost.
I tried to give them to him, didn't I?
All right, I'm going to do a Dear Jamie. You guys are welcome to chime in on that.
Okay.
It's something that really it happens, a lot in my
In your life?
capacity here. So I read the letter from Glad the holidays are finally over, Jamie. Talked about somebody's mother-in-law hogs the conversation and constantly talks about herself. Well, for me, sometimes it's my wife. Constantly hogs the conversation, wants to all be about herself. This was me for years. My wife was loud and abrasive. Hog conversation. Interrupted, didn't listen, thinking ahead, and thinking of all of them, what they were going to say next. Thought they were the life of the party. Had to keep the conversation going. I learned my lesson though. When she met another person who could outdo her, now she feels embarrassed about being there. Why is it she always has to be the life of the party, out front of everything, talks nothing about anything but themselves, tells you about how good they are, how many years they've been in television. Oh, I'm supposed to be talking about you. Supposed to be the one saying this.
Everyone knows.
Y'all know anybody like that? Huh?
Gloria keeps pointing to you. I'm not sure what that's
Hey,
about.
do y'all know anybody like that?
Yeah, we do.
Kind of ask the question, then answer it before you can answer it.
Yes, you can. And you do.
I'm not sure why Gloria's pointing at you, but that's...
I'm just saying.
Just like Gloria a minute ago, y'all need to speak up. Well, how can you? You don't ever get a chance.
Somebody always tries to take over the
Greg has-
conversation. You know,
Greg
kind of
has
run it from
plenty to
there.
say. Yeah.
Anything else like that, Matthew?
Gee, Matthew.
I didn't write that letter, but maybe that was a letter from Gloria to you. I'm not sure.
She might be trying to tell you something.
That's right.
Actually, in our relationship, I'm usually the silent one.
No, there is no truth to that. Why'd you laugh, Abby?
Huh?
There is no
Silent
truth in that.
Yeah.
I'm the quiet one.
Since y'all have known me, by the way, in case y'all didn't hear this earth-shattering news, they just exactly said yesterday, Mark Thornhill just celebrated his 30th
30
year
years.
on television.
Congratulations,
Mark
Mark.
started with us on Channel 31, along with Liz, who just celebrated her 30 years 6 months ago. They ain't got nothing on me.
See?
April 1st, yes, set a world record. Even Country Boy Eddie was only on, talked to him this week, 38 years. 40 years for me. I'll be expecting gifts all the month of April.
Sad.
Wow.
I'm sure you'll get
40
a
years.
good gift this April 1st.
April first, yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I think
afraid
we'll
of.
take off that day.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be here that day. You know, Sheriff Blakely somehow is like an elephant. He does not forget what happened.
That's right.
He's done said you've got it coming this go
Yeah,
around.
but when? That's the
Glad you
question,
said it
Greg.
that way.
He'll never let you know.
When is this going to come down?
You'll never know.
Yeah. He pulled up
Scares
again
me.
after I pulled that little stunt. I pulled several April 1st stunts in my day.
Yeah.
He pulls up beside us wearing a convertible one day and he said, "Payback's hell, don't you know that?"
I'll get you.
I'm scared to get out on April 1st, you know. But, well, it ought to be an interesting political year, shouldn't it, Greg?
It's going to be good.
Should be very
It's
interesting.
be good.
That's
Give a shout out. Give a shout out to
Stay
Jason.
quiet on
It's
that.
your turn to talk.
I'm going to stay quiet on the
I
left.
didn't cut you off.
Hey, I'm
Give a
not
shout
gonna
out
get
to
in on the
Jason
election
Black.
part.
Talked to Jason yesterday. Stopped by the house. He's out campaigning too. So we'll give a shout out to him. Talked to Seth Parker. He's running for District 1
Yeah.
commissioner. Hey, is that the district I'm in?
I don't
We don't
know
even
how
know
that,
what district
how
you're
that
in.
district runs.
Well, y'all are in real estate. Y'all supposed to know this. Huh?
From Jefferson up through Nick Davis.
All right.
So we still don't know who.
Greg, y'all.
We cannot give advice on sections where you need to be at. Tell you that.
Exactly. All right, if y'all got anything, you can always hit me up on my iPad, countryrover@gmail.com. Don't forget to register down at
That's right.
Chick-fil-A to run in there. You know what I
We'll
think
see
about
you
doing?
there.
I may work on this here the next couple of months. Think about doing the kids' birthday shows up here.
What did I tell you?
It would be sponsored by Arctic Chill and Chick-fil-A. I already know that.
What did I tell you, though?
Nobody can get their kids
Nobody's
up
going to get up at 6 o'clock.
Well, we put that kind of once a week. You know what I mean? But where else you going to get your kid on TV, right?
You should have it on a
Kids-
Saturday at lunch.
Yeah.
Have a
6 a.m.
show for an
birthdays.
hour.
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah.
Well, can't nobody show them. Who's going to be here Saturday morning at 12?
Well, I mean,
Just
a lot of
Jamie.
kids.
No, you already hear my staff back here saying, "Oh, it'll be just you."
Just you.
Yeah,
That's
I could probably do it
overtime.
myself, huh?
That's
All right,
overtime.
We like
keeping
our
that in mind,
Saturdays
y'all have a
off.
great weekend. Spring breaks next week. We'll be here. All y'all going
Have an
somewhere?
awesome
I'll be
spring
around.
break.
So everybody's staying in, enjoying the great weather. All right, we'll run more Papa Rocco's next week. That's
We're
question.
running one thing. Our pre-frozen yogurt, buy one, get one free.
All right.
What's the hours down there now?
From 12 to 9. And then during April, somewhere like that, we'll change it back to 10 on the weekends.
Spring break next week. Go by, need all the yogurt you got. All right, and don't forget Chick-fil-A. We'll get out here. I'm burnt out of time here. We got to go. See y'all.
Imagine that. Bye.